Some of you know that a handful of us were with some of our Cambodian partners in Phnom Penh in November, last November. And I have a picture of Pastor Ken and Pastor Patrick and some of our team members sitting together in Shalom Valley at the camp, the retreat center that 10th has been so instrumental in building. There we have camps that are run for children and youth with the Alongsiders organization. But for this time, we were meeting with our Cambodian partners, and we were listening to Makara, one of our dear friends and translators, speak about the ways that the Spirit was moving among them. And we weren't just sitting anywhere in this Shalom Valley, this place of peace. We were sitting in the middle of a bomb crater. We were sitting right where there had been incredible harm during the Khmer Rouge, during the genocide that took place in Cambodia not that long ago. And it was somber. It was really a sacred moment. But we were also celebrating the beauty that was coming out of ashes. And we couldn't help but notice that in the middle of that crater, there was flowers and foliage that was growing, a tree growing. But that's not all. As Makara was sharing from his heart to ours, you'll see a blonde sitting there, Elise. Elise works for Food for the Hungry, and she was one of the partners that came with us on this trip, and we roomed together the whole time, so we became really close. She was like a young sister in the faith. And as she sat there and we talked about what the Spirit was doing, tears began to roll down Elise's face. You see, she had just been on a relief trip in the Ukraine, and she hadn't even had time to process what she had experienced and seen. So here she was, sitting in a bomb crater in Cambodia. But fresh in her mind and her heart were those people she had been grieving with in the Ukraine, with fresh destruction. And a really moving thing happened. In this next picture, you'll see Selah, a Cambodian elder in the group. He began to pray and speak over Elise. And he began to pray in Khmer first and then in English, praying for the Ukrainian people. And tears began to roll down Selah's face as well. And my understanding from Makara and our other friends there is that it's very unusual for a man of his stature, that age, who had faced things he cannot talk about because of how heartbreaking it is, for him to show that level of emotion and to speak out of that. It was really a sacred moment. I asked Elise yesterday, what was it like for her to experience that? And she said, when we arrived at Shalom Valley, I was still struggling to process the deep pain I had witnessed in the Ukraine. I had absolutely no idea that going to Cambodia would bring me hope for them. But as we sat there in that bomb crater, the people around me prayed for the Ukraine, and I felt so much joy knowing God had put their hurt on these leaders' hearts, and we were all brothers and sisters in Christ. Their prayers were so heartfelt, and their understanding expressed that there was not this us and then attitude. No, we were God's people, and these hurts mattered to the Father, and so they mattered to us. She said their history of war and the things that they had experienced meant that Selah was able to speak with so much compassion. It was beautiful. And then she said the Spirit moved with healing as we experienced together, with the Spirit's help, God's love for our Ukrainian friends, for that Cambodian circle, and for our team as well. The Spirit of God bringing comfort, bringing courage, and bringing connection.